Heyo, welcome into CHGO Bets Daily, presented by PointsBet. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Welcome into Studio B of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. The B stands for bets. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. And alongside me is Cody Del Mendo. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. And we are being produced today by our guy, Joey. And Joey, how you feeling about Texas? You're a local Texas guy. It's been a rough season so far.
Same old horns, Sean.
Texas is back.
Texas is not back.
No, they're back, baby. No. Back and better than ever. Quinn Ewers for Heisman. Let's get into what we've done before this show, because you're at like a ridiculously high bank right now.
I have almost 400. I have made almost $400 gambling on college football in the NFL.
Christ.
I am at 377.
I don't know if we should applaud it that strongly. We need like a more mid reaction, because it should be like,
Cody's
yeah,
on it.
call 1-800 gambler.
No, he's on an absolute heater.
He is. No, I mean, truly, this is insane. I mean, what do you have a record? Have you been keeping record of what you've been picking?
I went 25-18 over the weekend.
Nice.
To be honest, so my college football weekend was much
43
better.
bets?
Yeah.
Jesus.
3 of them were live bets. So, and they all lost. So, you know, my pregame bets all like did much better. You know what I mean? I lost $30 betting live. I was texting you on Saturday about Wake Forest. I live bet the money line because there was something about them. I was like, oh, they look like they might beat Clemson today, and they brutally beat me in overtime. But yeah, no. So I had a really good college football weekend, but NFL I came out even.
Oh man, the NFL.
I went like 8-8 on the NFL.
I got killed too.
Yeah,
I got murdered.
Which to me, you finish even. It's better than going like 0-7, because the noon slate on the NFL, I went 1-5.
Well, you want to hear my bad luck here? The noon slate screwed me with the Detroit Lions. I had the Lions money line, and I was holding on to that. And the fact that they kicked that field goal, I was ready to jump out of this building. I was ready to jump out of this exact building. I could point to the window I was going to jump out of. But yeah, I couldn't stand the fact that they kicked that field goal, miss. They end up losing that one. But then I was around around $60, and then I fell to around like 30, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna make one pick in the 3 p.m. slot. I took Bucks money line, so I bankrupt myself. Yeah. But on Monday, I went to a concert and was sweating in the upper balcony of the Riviera Theater because I needed CeeDee Lamb to have 6 catches or more. And that fourth quarter was huge for me. So shout out to CeeDee Lamb, shout out to under 43.5, and shout out to Cowboys plus 7.5. That all covered. So I got $6, and now I'm trying to turn.
I was at the Riviera, or I wasn't there. I lived by the Riviera.
Oh, there you go.
Ontario.
You live by Herb.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I told Herb this story, and he said, "Oh, you were by me," and I was like, "Yeah, I was." I might have parked outside your apartment, but then I bet on the Twins yesterday money line, so then I turned that 6 to 12. So I'm playing with $12. So Cody's got 377, and I have 12.
The Bills absolutely killed me.
I took Dolphins.
They ran like 90 offensive plays. Like they possessed the ball for 45 minutes of the game, which is like absurd. And they just kept going 90 yards down the field and then turning it over on downs, missing field goals. Like it was just, and then they were so exhausted by the end of the game.
Right.
They just couldn't get the ball out of bounds. It was just, it was a brutal beat.
And then Ken Dorsey had to break things. And Joey probably had to break things too, because he had the Bills money line. I think they had 51 more plays than the Dolphins.
Yeah,
in that game.
Dolphins ran like 40 plays and the Bills ran 90.
It's ridiculous.
Now that I think about it, I didn't take the Dolphins. I took the over, and that came nowhere close. And I live bet Bills money line when Josh Allen got that last chance on that last drive. I live bet it right before they started the drive.
After the butt punt?
Yeah, after the butt punt. I was like, oh, this is like, I have to take Bills. It was plus 150.
So trivia, I'm not sure. Before you guys get into all your picks, who do you think leads the NFL right now in pass attempts?
Not Justin Fields.
No.
Tua. It is Joe Flacco.
Yeah. He has like the second most completions, too.
He dropped back to pass 60 times in week 2. 60 times.
He threw 60 times in that game?
60.
Oh, he's going to fall
against
out
the Browns, and they won. So when Joe Flacco throws 60 times in a game, you can win.
He's done now because Zach Wilson is back, I think, this week.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco could still potentially be ahead of Justin Fields in attempts by like week 10.
Oh my God.
Like
something to watch out for.
At this rate, yeah.
They're going to turn that into like, they're going to have Lawrence be making like all those graphic packages and everything. It's going to be like, who has more yards, Joe Flacco or Justin Fields? Remember when the line for Justin Fields passing yards this year was like 3,600?
Oh,
and we both laughed our asses off at that and said no Bears quarterback has thrown for that since like Jay Cutler. Like it's Jay Cutler and Eric Kramer.
Regret not actually placing the bet.
I do too. I also regret not betting on the Bears money line last week and the Niners week too, because we called that shit preseason.
I did take Bears minus 2.5, so I did get Bears. I did get that one. I took the under, that didn't hit, and I took Khalil Herbert over 25.5 yards. It helped that Montgomery got hurt, but I think he would have passed it up anyway. The way that the Bears were able to run the ball that day with almost 300 yards on the ground.
Yeah, and you know what? I hate to see David Montgomery injured, but for somebody who took Khalil Herbert in a keeper league in the last round, that looks great because I'm getting a starting running back next year in the 15th round. So let's go. I do need to talk to you quickly because before we get into the college picks for this week, and before we get into our NFL picks, we have to let you know about what happened last Saturday with the Who Let the Dogs parlay, because it's very important. I know you were wondering. First off, Buffalo smoked Eastern Michigan. I love the Buffalo team. That was fun to watch. Buffalo just ran all over Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan couldn't stop a nosebleed. And then I also had Louisiana Tech at South Alabama. Louisiana Tech got murdered by South Alabama, but that was at 640. The Buffalo game was basically a win. I was all good. And then I was sweating an old SEC game. Missouri at Auburn. And if you're an SVP watcher, you know that this game was on bad beats. I had Missouri on the money line at plus 220. It was a $5 bet on a 45-1 odds line. So it was 5 to win 220. Missouri had the chance of a 26-yard field goal to win the game. The kicker, who didn't take any warm-up kicks, shockingly missed the fucking kick. Then they also had a possible interception. It was ruled to be overturned because it hit the ground. Yep. Then the Auburn kicker missed a field goal, but the guys were offsides, and this was in overtime. So then they moved it up to 39. He drilled it. And then, here's the worst part. Missouri had all that happen to him, and then they hand it off to the running back on like a 15-yard play. He goes to the outside sideline, tries to tightrope down the sideline. Instead of stepping out at the 1, you could just kick a field goal to tie, or you're on the 1-yard line with 4 chances to get in. But he tries to reach over the goal line, and before stepping out of bounds, he drops the ball. And there's no other Missouri Tiger around, and Ryan Herrera's heart broke at the same time mine broke. It was horrible. It was
bad beat, man.
Horrible. I would have had $60 in my pocket, and I would have blown it on the Bucks money line. But oh well, it would have been in my bank, and I would have been happier, Cody. What a brutal beat, and I hate that college football is back.
Yeah, that's a pretty brutal beat. I was on the other side of a bad beat that was on SVP. Cincinnati and Indiana. I took Cincinnati minus 16.5. Indiana was winning, Indiana was losing by 14 with under 5 to go. And their dumbass coach, when they're down double digits with under 5 to go in the fourth, decides to go for it inside their own 10. And Cincinnati sacks them like inside the 5. And then the Bearcats run it in on third down or whatever to cover the 16.5. I mean, if you're on the other side of that, that's brutal. I wasn't. I won the bet, and I was prancing around my apartment laughing because Indiana is such a fraudulent college. I'm sorry.
We're sorry to Jack R. Jack R. in the comments with his Bobby Knight and Mike Woods from profile pictures is shedding a tear with you bashing his team like that. All right, let's get in because this is going to be a long show if we don't get into the bets here. Do you want to start college or NFL?
Let's do NFL first. All right. Because Bears.
Let's start it. NFL first. Bears. Thursday. Miami at Cincinnati. Are you interested in anything in this game?
Right now, I am interested in the under because the under is 8-2 in primetime games. It's at 47, I believe, on PointsBet. So I like that. Also, Tua is questionable. And I think Jalen Waddle is also questionable. So it's a short week on top of the fact of you have that injury. I originally bet Dolphins plus 3.5 like a moron, like on Monday, because I was like, the Dolphins, who are 3-0, are going up against this Bengals team and their shitty offensive line, who's only beat the Jets, and they're underdogs. I got to take the Dolphins. And then I didn't think about the possibility of Tua being out and Jalen Waddle being out. So I have that sitting in my pending bets, and I'm waiting to see if I can get it cashed out. Because I now, especially now that the Bengals are going to wear their all white out like uniforms that are sick.
Oh,
I feel like I need to bet the Bengals.
Not so fast, my friend. I love Dolphins plus 165. I think you can even tease this down to Dolphins minus 1.5.
Really?
Dolphins, they've been able to pull it out just every single week. Ravens, Bills, they're not beating like Joe Schmo over here.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
Teddy Bridgewater is probably one of the better backup quarterbacks to be replacing Tua. I don't think Tua's got like that crazy magic. He's got some good weapons. If Waddle's out, I think that's probably more important than Tua being out. But still, I like the Dolphins on the money line. I think that that's good value. The Bengals really haven't shown me anything, and I think that they might be out to a slow start. They look bad against Pittsburgh and Mitch Trubisky. They look bad against Dallas and Cooper Rush, and then they look all right against the Jets. But still, I don't trust them.
Either way, I like the under just because of the injuries and the short week for both these teams. So
I think the under is 63%, has won 63% so far through the NFL schedule so far. So through the first 3 weeks, I mean, the under has been
and
a
it's
great
been
play.
hitting on prime time like automatically.
Right.
I mean, it was never a doubt on Sunday night. The 11-10 game.
It was a doubt on Monday, though. Monday was close.
Ooh, I'm glad I got it 39.5.
Vikings at Saints. You got any play on this? This is the London game.
This is one of the most bet games on the slate so far. I was watching a TikTok about this earlier today. A lot of people love the Vikings. And now that Jameis Winston is like, I think they're going to play Andy Dalton this week. Because I think either because Jameis is hurt or because he's not been playing well, right?
He's questionable right now.
Yeah. I kind of like the Vikings at 2.5. You can get it at 2.5. I wouldn't go any higher than 3 just because like the Saints defense is pretty good. But the Saints, like, they're just really injured right now. Also, this game's in London. So like which team's going to travel better? I don't know, but maybe the under's a play there too, just because they're going to London. But yeah, 2.5 right now. I like the Vikings.
Yeah, and also to jump on that under pick for the Dolphins, 3-0 unders, Cincinnati, Green Bay, and Tampa. So Cincy has gone under each and every game so far this year. New Orleans is a weird team to bet though. I like your the Jameis question mark is there, but I don't know if I trust the Vikings. Like, I like the Saints defense. The Saints usually keep it close. The Saints are 0-3 against the spread, so I don't know if you want to touch.
They've just struggled. I mean, they struggled against Carolina. They couldn't like do anything against Tampa Bay, which I get because Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay. But like even against Carolina, I don't know. They need to get Alvin Kamara going, man. Like he has been. Like I have him on every fantasy team, so I've had to see it. Like he hasn't done shit this year so far. They need to get him going. They need to get that run game going and. Then, Chris Olave has been a nice surprise for them. Not really a surprise, but like he's emerging as like a go-to guy and the receiving corps for them. But they gotta get that offense going because they have a good defense.
Well, and the Viking side, Dalvin Cook's injured too. So I think Saints money line at plus 125 is something I would look at.
That's
Bills at Ravens. Line is -3 in the Bills' favor. They're the road favorite. Money line is 160. You like anything in this one?
Man, I think I like the Bills at -3 here. I love a good home dog, but the Bills are coming off they're coming off a loss they know that they probably should have won. Ravens, I've said it before, I do not like the receiving corps or their offensive line. I think this is a bounce back day for the Bills.
If you're looking to build a parlay, I like the Bills at -160, and then you could take an underdog if you like. If you like the Bears and you like the Bills, you can put those together at a parlay. You get the double B parlay, and you could probably make some plus money on that one.
There you go.
We love plus money on the show. Jets at Steelers. Line is +3.5. Jets are the underdog, and you can get them on the money line at +150. It seems like you like that.
Oh, yeah. I love the Jets this week. Zach Wilson's coming back. He's going to play better than Joe Flacco. I know that much. He's got a lot to prove. Trevor Lawrence, he's already shown that he's better than what we saw last year. I think Zach Wilson has a good shot. I mean, if the Jets have been able to move the ball with Joe Flacco, I think they'll be able to do it with Zach Wilson. Also, this Pittsburgh team, they're starting to get real flawed, especially with TJ Watt out on defense. I like the Jets this week. It's weird because it's the Steelers at home, And Tomlin's the better coach, but for some reason I love the Jets. If you don't want to take the money line, I like it at the 3.5. You can get the hook there on the field goal. So 3.5. I like the Jets.
Yeah, I like the Jets spread, and I also like the under on this game at 41.5.
Oh, that too.
I do think that the Jets have enough weapons, though, just to score. I think it might be a 10-7 game, and I think it might just be that couple extra Breece Hall receptions that puts them over the edge. Chargers at Texans. Line is -5. Chargers are the road favorites. Money line plus 200 if you're interested in taking the home dogs and the Texans. Justin Herbert hasn't looked healthy. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, the Chargers got their butts kicked by the Jags, right? So big bounce back game for them. I don't like the -5. I mean, we watched the Texans and the Bears, and you look at that Texas team, and you see all these. You saw all the missed opportunities that Justin Fields could have really torched that offense. Justin Herbert should be able to do that, but again, I don't know how healthy he is. So right now, it's a stay away from me. I don't even like the over-under. I'm staying away from this one. Yeah,
I'm staying away from it as well. I don't know what Chase Daniel would do as a starting NFL back in the year 2020, and I think if I thought about
just continue to make money.
For long enough, I think my brain would fry. Browns at Falcons. The line is 1.5. Browns are the favorites. You could get the home dogs, the Falcons, at plus 100. Falcons have had a real interesting offense this year so far.
To me, this is one where you don't think about it. You just know you know that the Falcons aren't that good. They're coming off a big win against the Seahawks. The Seahawks stink. The Browns coming off a big primetime win against the Steelers, have a few extra days to actually prepare for that game. To get the money line at -115. You slam the Browns here. They're far and away better than the Falcons. Even with Jacoby Brissett. You got to take the Browns.
And slam the over, too. 49, I know the under's been huge here, but look at the Browns games. Against Carolina, 26-24. That's, 50 points right there. All right, and that would hit the over there. 31-30, that's 61. 29-17, and that was against Pittsburgh. You have Mitch Trubisky on the other half. That's probably the reason why they're putting up 17. The Falcons' offense has been one of the best in the NFL this year. They just won 27-23 against the Rams, 31-27 against the Saints, 27-26. These two teams can put up points, so I like the over.
I think some turnovers could happen. I like the over there.
Yeah,
Cleveland. I don't know if I play it, but
Cleveland and Atlanta are the two teams that are 3-0 on the overs. Detroit also 3-0 on overs, but
Weird.
These two facing each other, I think it's way too good. I mean, you could even probably tease this up to 50 or 50.5, and I think I'd still like it. Seahawks at Lions, you can get the Seahawks at plus 4.5. The Lions are the favorite at -210 on the money line. 48 is the over. I think I like the over in this one.
Dude, I don't know because I don't like that Seahawks offense, and I know the Lions.
Do you like the Lions defense?
Yeah, I don't like the Lions defense either. This is another one where I stay away. I maybe pick a prop Amon-Ra St. Brown's been killing it this year. Maybe something with him. But as far as the spread and the over-under, I'm staying away because I just don't know what you're going to get. And I don't like it when the Lions are the favorite.
Lions opened at 6.5 favorites, and now you can get them at 4.5 at plus 100.
So a lot of money coming in on the Seahawks.
They're 3-0 against the spread. I love this. I mean, this line's coming down. The Lions have covered every single game.
If it somehow got down to 3, then I'd probably take the Lions. But that 4.5, I don't like it, man.
It's Geno, man. I'm not trusting Geno. All right, let's go to the next game. Titans at Colts. The Colts are the favorites. They're getting 3 points on the spread. You can get the Titans as the road dogs at plus 140.
I love the Colts. I took the Colts last weekend. I sat here and told you I'm taking the Colts. And what happened? They actually won outright. I wish I would have bet the money line. They were due last week. Now they got to play a divisional game. I want to say that last week was a get right week. Now divisional home game and against a team that honestly they stink. They should win, and at only 3 points. I'll take the Colts.
All right, let's move on. I don't have too much in that game. I think just watching Tennessee Titans football is probably the worst thing you could do for your health. Jaguars at Eagles. I think this is the best thing that you can do for your health. I think this is going to be a fantastic, fun game on CBS. Yes. Jacksonville heading to Philadelphia. They are getting 6.5 points, and you get them on the money line at 230. I had the Saints as a lock at plus 135. I don't really love that, but I do love the Jags at plus 230. I think they can win this game, period. Yeah. So I think the fact that you can get it at plus 230 is such great value. It's the best value that you can get on the board this week, this entire NFL week.
Yeah, considering how well they played the last 2 weeks, I the fact that you're getting 6.5, I'd love to see it move to 7 so you get that touchdown. But I think the one thing that I really like about this is the over. Both offenses have been playing well. Jalen Hurts is the people were wanting to already give him the MVP award. They got good.
You blame them?
No, I don't blame them.
That's good.
But yeah, over under at 47. I know the Eagles defense is pretty good, but I think this is going to be a first one to like 27 points. And I feel like it could be like a 27-24 game. And, I think this will be the best game during the noon or 3 o'clock games.
Yeah, I would easily agree on that
so
one.
I like the over.
Yes, and I think this is going to be the worst one. Commanders at Dallas Cowboys. Our guy Connor Smith saying Commanders plus 3.5. You can actually get them on PointsBet at plus 3. So you can even,
at plus 100.
That line's moving a bit. Yeah, you can get that at plus money right now. So the line is at plus 3 for the Commanders. You can get them on the money line at plus 140. The Cowboys have at least been able to win games with Cooper Rush.
Yeah, I don't like the Commanders. I took the Commanders at 6.5 last week, and they got their butts kicked by the Eagles. I will say this: Cowboys short week for them, so maybe that benefits the Commanders more. And it is probably a must win for the Commanders if they don't want to fall out of the race early. But that Dallas defense is good, man. It's really good.
Under 41 looks.
I do like the under, but
I think I'm staying away.
I'd probably stay away more likely than not, but I lean Dallas.
The only reason I didn't stay away from the last Dallas game was because it was a Monday night game and there was nothing else to bet on. That's called being a degenerate. Let's go to the other noon game, and it's the game that people care about here in Chicago. Bears at Giants. Bears headed into the Meadowlands. They're getting 3 points. You can get the Bears money line at plus 145. I got 2 locks in this game for you. Bears money line at plus 145 and Bears Giants over 39.5 at 107. You can now get it over 39 at 107. I love the over in this game. I think that you're probably going to see a ton of rushing yards, which you might think like, oh, the clock's going to run out. But I think that they won't be able to stop anything. I don't think any team will be able to stop anyone. I think Khalil Herbert will run left and right all over the Giants. I think that Saquon Barkley will run all over the Bears defense left and right. And I think that this will just be a high-scoring game, and not because any offense is competent, but just because the teams are so bad that it's kind of like Little League play,
Yeah. Based off what we saw on Monday, one reason that I like the Bears is basically why I said that I wouldn't blame people for betting the Commanders. Short week for the Giants. Yep. And honestly, they're coming off a game where I thought they were going to win at one point. But their offensive line is so bad, dude. It's awful. Like Daniel Jones, you can say whatever you want about Daniel Jones. It wasn't his fault that they lost that game. Their offensive line just sucks, and they did not give him any time to throw the ball. Now Sterling Shepard is out for the year. They haven't been getting anything out of Kenny Golladay. So I feel like their receiving corps are about the same. What I mean? Richie James Jr. is the lead wide receiver for the Giants. If Kadarius Toney could get healthy, maybe there's something there. But I do lean the Bears here. I just think this is a good spot for the Bears. I like it at plus 145. I do kind of like the over too, just because I know we're all very worried about Justin Fields, but he is due, man. He is better than the last 2 weeks. He played better than this last year with Matt Nagy as the coach. There has to be a bottomed out. He has there's got to be better than what we've seen the last 2 weeks. So yeah, I like the over. I like Bears money line.
I'm still worried about him. I know that there's something better in there,
I'm worried, but all I'm asking is for a 200-yard passing game, man.
We'll see. Cardinals.
He better against this Giants secondary that just got pretty carved up by Cooper Rush. That's what you got. And I have no disrespect to Cooper Rush, but this has got to be a bounce back game for Justin.
All disrespect to Cooper Rush. Do you know where he went to college?
No clue.
No, and why would you? Disrespect Cooper Rush. He's a backup. Let's go next. Cardinals at Panthers. Cardinals are getting 1.5. You can get the Panthers on the money line at minus 120, over under 42.5. I would recommend people stay away from this game.
This is another one of those that had like the top betted game. Like the sharps are in on this. Everyone's taking the Cardinals. I don't know.
I mean, if there's anything I would take, it's plus money. So give me plus 105.
Yeah, to get the Cardinals as a road dog.
You trust Baker?
No, I don't. I mean, Carolina's coming off a nice divisional win against the Saints.
But as we could tell, I mean, like Jameis isn't 100%.
Yeah. Well, his back is literally broken. Like
Alvin Kamara doesn't look great. Like,
right.
I don't know.
Arizona. Kyler Murray threw the ball like 60 times last week, and they didn't score one touchdown. They hit four. They kicked 4 field goals,
and he bus tossed his wide receivers. He was like, "You guys got to get open, and you guys got to
Yeah, he can only hit Hollywood Brown.
He's a jackass.
He really misses DeAndre Hopkins right now too.
Complete jerk.
So, this is a stay away for me at this point. Maybe dabble on the over-under. If it comes down to like 40, then I'd probably take the over.
If you're placing 43 bets again this week, I hope you're not betting Cardinals and Panthers.
I would just like to say I put most of my bets on college football. Just saying.
There you go. Broncos at Raiders. I would also advise you to stay away from this one. I was huge on the Raiders. Somehow they're the favorites at home at minus 2.5. You can get the spread at minus 2.5 at minus 115. Money line is 140. Over-under at 45.5. Why? His offense stink. I don't want to watch this game.
The Broncos' offense right now stinks.
So are the Raiders. The Raiders couldn't do shit against the Titans. They couldn't do shit against the Cardinals. They couldn't do shit against the Chargers. Under.
You like the under?
Absolutely. 45?
It does look like a good 3 o'clock, take a nap, place the bet, take a nap type game. I like the Broncos money line here at plus 120 if I were to bet it, just because I just think that they're the better team.
The 3 o'clock hour is the drink yourself to sleep hour. Yeah. Who wants to watch Cardinals at Panthers, Broncos at Raiders, or Patriots at Packers? That's our next game. Patriots at Packers. Patriots, the underdog at plus 9.5. You can get them on the money line at plus 375. Over-under is at 40.5. I think the Packers might be able to score 30 on their own. So it's really, can the Patriots score 11?
Yeah. This game stinks, man.
Oh, it stinks. Just stay away.
I'd probably take Green Bay. Mac Jones isn't going to play. Not that it matters. He hasn't been doing shit. Brian Hoyer, Bears legend. Like, listen, Belichick is Belichick, and like betting against Belichick isn't exactly the smartest thing. But in the year like this, it is, because they just don't have the weapons, and that's why Mac Jones has looked bad. And they've only beat the Steelers, and they barely beat them. Like, it's the only thing that scares me about Green Bay is like, their offense hasn't looked great either. You know what I mean? So like maybe the under's in play here. You know what I mean? Because like there's like Green Bay's still trying to figure out like how to get these receivers involved. I think is it Dobbs, Doubs? Yeah. Like he got really involved on Sunday in Tampa Bay with Aaron Rodgers. Like maybe that's the start of something. The run game will probably be better this week because Tampa Bay's run defense was really good. So Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, I think A.J. Dillon was just set as questionable today. So Aaron Jones prop, I like a good Aaron Jones prop on this game, if anything.
Yeah, I've always liked drafting Aaron Jones in fantasy because he's usually reliable. Let's go to the Sunday night game, Chiefs at Bucks. Ooh. Chiefs are getting a point in Tampa Bay. The money line is 120 for the Chiefs. The Bucks, the home dog, at plus 105. I'm staying away from this game.
Oh, I'm going to bet this because it'll be the only game on Sunday night.
But that was the thing. I got burned on the Bucks. I can't bet them again.
Well, I'm gonna take the under again because the primetime unders have they've been never a doubt. And I actually do kind of like the under because the Bucks defense is good. Kansas City's offense the last 2 weeks now has been shaky. I know Patrick Mahomes is great and everything, but they are going through a transition where they're trying to figure out how to score at a consistent pace without Tyreek Hill.
Real quick, too, and Joe is correct. I forgot. With the hurricane that's currently happening down in Tampa Bay, Hurricane Ian, the game has been moved to Minneapolis. So Tampa's still the home team, but they'll be playing in Minneapolis against Kansas City.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hurricane Ian.
Okay, so they're in a dome?
They're in a dome.
Wow, okay.
And Chiefs, technically closer to KC. So, Chiefs fans might make that drive.
Perhaps. Man. I like the under, like I said.
I like the under, too.
And Yeah. That's it. I can't decide. The Tampa Bay's offensive line is all sorts of shambles right now. Their receivers are all hurt. I think Julio Jones is supposed to come back this week, but like they are really struggling on offense right now. And again, mainly because their offensive line. I mean, they can't even run the ball because of their offensive line being all so banged up. I mean, Leonard Fournette has been very so far this year, and going up against Kansas City, maybe it's a get right game for them. When you get Tom Brady at plus money, I don't blame you.
Right. And I got him at plus money, and I lost that bet. So I'm staying away.
When I bet the Packers on Sunday, I got him at plus money. So I don't know when you took him.
I took the spread, so I got plus money on. Rams at 49ers.
Monday night.
Rams plus 1.5. Also, you can get them on the money line at plus 100. Giants hosting the Rams, over under at 42. I'm guessing you like the under.
Oh, yeah. I love the under again on a Monday night. And also,
why are the Rams plus 100?
Because they can't beat the 49ers in the regular season. They've lost like 6 straight against the 49ers.
Did you see Jimmy Garoppolo play?
I did, yeah.
You know what? I think they're going to break that streak.
I've watched Jimmy Garoppolo for a long time, man.
I think they'll break that streak. I'm going to take Rams plus 100. Thank you very much.
Okay. No, they did beat the Rams did beat the 49ers in the playoffs to, I guess, in a way, snap that streak. But as far as regular season goes, the 49ers have beat them like 5 or 6 straight times. And San Francisco's at home. So, they're going to, like in a game where the spread is 1, they're always going to give the home team the favorite. So, as of this moment, I'm with you. I do like the Rams in this one. I do not like how San Francisco is looking right now, especially coming off that bad Sunday night game against the Broncos. Again, Broncos defense is really good. Rams defense is also good. So that's one reason why I like the under. You got 2 really big defensive teams, both divisional opponents, so they know each other like freaking like a boy, like
peanut butter no jelly.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So, and then if you can get the reigning Super Bowl champs at plus money, I like it.
All right, now let's get into college football. And we want to let you know where we're placing our bets this week is PointsBet. They're bringing you a better way to bet live on games, which means before this ad is over, you can place a live same-game parlay bet. You can bet on the next drive to be a touchdown and cash out your live second-half over bet. With PointsBet, you have access to more live football markets than ever before, and you can build the perfect live same-game parlay by combining your favorite bets at any time during the game, including spreads, totals, player props, and more. You can choose the outcome of the next drive and next points with PointsBet's Lightning Bet, so whether you're on the move or on the couch, do it live on PointsBet. Download the PointsBet app today and sign up with code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. And if you are a new customer and you use that code CHGO and you sign up and you deposit $50 or more, you'll get a yearly membership to CHGO. You'll get access to our CHGO Discord, and you'll get a free shirt from the CHGO Lounge. You can check out all of our shirts at chgolocker.com. So if you're someone who has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services. And again, use code CHGO when you sign up with PointsBet. If you make a $50 or more deposit, you get a free CHGO membership. You get to talk to all the people in the CHGO Discord, including us, and you also get a free shirt from CHGO Locker. I just got the black CHGO script shirt, and I'm very excited to get it out of the mailbox downstairs. All right, let's get into some college football here, Cody. We won't go through the entire slate. Let's just get your main locks here. And you got some obscure picks here for college football.
Well, okay, so on the screen, this is Thursday and Friday picks, right? For Saturday, I'll tweet them out. Make sure you're following CHGO Bets Daily on Twitter and me at Cody_CHGO. So Navy and Air Force under 37.5. Read a stat today. The under in military service academy games is 41-9. The last 50 games, clearly. So slam the under for Navy and Air Force on Saturday. That's the one Saturday game I have on here at this point, right? So that's a trend that I'll just keep riding. Both those teams, they're just going to run the ball. Boise State, San Diego State under 39. The under is 18-7-1 in San Diego State's last 26 conference games. This is classic Mountain West Friday night football, baby. This is what we love to see. I was just talking about, Navy and Air Force. Well, San Diego State averages 73.8 passing yards per game. Army, Navy, and Air Force all have a higher passing yard average than San Diego State. So, I think that's all I got to say when you take the under 39 with that. And the same thing we've seen with Boise State, their offense hasn't been good either. Yeah, I love the under on 39 there. UNLV minus 14.5. They're off to their best start since 2008. They're 4-0 against the spread this year. New Mexico just totaled 88 yards of offense against LSU this past weekend. And UNLV is, they're 320, 576, 309, and 554 total in terms of total yards their last 4 games. They're playing really well while New Mexico is not. So I like them minus 14.5. And then the one dog, Tulane money line at plus 125. Going up against Houston on the road. Tulane 3-1, Houston 2-2, I believe. Houston leads all FBS schools in both penalties per game and penalty yardage per game.
Nice job, Dana.
So they don't have any discipline, right? They're giving up a ton of points too. And also and when I say that they're giving up a ton of points, well, they're one of their best defensive players, Derek Parrish, is out for the year. He recorded 5 sacks total already for them, and now he's out. So that Houston defense is going to be a big. They're going to be missing him big. Tulane also beat Kansas State earlier in the year, but they also just lost to Southern Miss last week. Oops. So you've seen really good, you've seen really bad. I think they're right there in the middle somewhere, being whatever that is in terms of good. And Houston started the year ranked, and now they're not because of everything that I just kind of said. So Houston is the home favorite, but I like Tulane on the road, plus 125. I think they're the better team. So that's what I got so far. We'll have more for Saturday. Maybe we'll put a graphic out or something.
I got to tell you something real quick.
What's that?
I am absolutely going to fight you on that Navy Air Force game. You know what's 10-1?
What's 10-1?
The last 11 games in the Navy Air Force games has gone over 75 or 37.5, 10-1 times. 37.5 is very low. Last year was 23-3, but still, like, maybe Navy's just not pulling their weight here. But I bet on Air Force last week to put up 40, and they did.
They did, yeah.
So I don't know about that one. I like the over on that one. 10-1 in the last 11 years. I think all of those 9 covers that you were talking about in the last 50 games have been Air Force Navy games.
Perhaps. Who knows?
I like the stat.
I like the stat, and that's why I'm taking it.
I like the stat. I think I might.
It's not even a stat. It's just a trend. Yeah. Like I understand people who don't want to ride trends. I totally get it. But I've been riding trends a lot this year so far, and I'm just going to keep riding it with
makes
this.
Sense. Let's look at my 3 locks for this week. I bet money on a Middle Tennessee State team that was up 17-0. And I got them on the money line at plus 300. So absolutely, when you tell me they're going up against a USA team that joined the FBS in 2009, that I remember when they were added to NCAA football, yes, I understand UTSA just won a Conference USA title. Congratulations. Down with the Roadrunners. Let's go Raiders. It's going to be a fucking, what is it, a whiteout, Joey? What's going on here? It's going to be a blackout in Murfreesboro, Tennessee for Middle Tennessee Raider football on Friday night.
It's Kevin Byard retirement night.
Kevin Byard retirement night. It's a blackout game. It's the CUSA opener against the defending USA champs, a nationally televised game on the CBS Sports Network. Yes, the CBS Sports Network. Their quarterback's a transfer from FSU. They just kicked the shit out of Miami. And the only loss my Raiders have on the year against James Madison, who Tom Fornelli of CBS Sports has ranked 8th on the Fornelli Plus ratings. So James Madison's a top 10 team, and that's their only loss, 44-7. But they've beaten Colorado State, Tennessee State, and whooped both of those teams, and they whooped Miami as well. Going up against UTSA, I don't trust the Roadrunners. Let's go Raiders. I'm taking them at plus 145 on the money line. Shocker, Jack Dar coming in and saying, how about them Colts not bringing up the Indiana Hoosiers, who we brought him up for. Yeah. Let's go to the other picks. We got James Madison to score 40 points. Again, they're a top 10 team according to Tom Fornelli, and Tom Fornelli's helped me win money. But they beat Middle Tennessee 44-7. They beat Norfolk State 63-7. And they beat App State, my guys, 32-28. Texas State stinks. Texas State is horrible at football. And the only team that they kind of almost beat was Houston.
Yeah.
They were pretty decent against Houston, I'm pretty sure. Now I can't find the game. But they lost against Nevada. They beat FIU, was horrible, and they lost to Baylor 42-7. I will take very easily James Madison to drop 40 on Texas State. And then Oklahoma State at Baylor. I'll take over 55.5. This game has kind of been either Oklahoma State dominates or it's a high-scoring game that Baylor wins. I think Baylor's going to win because Oklahoma State hasn't played in a while, but I don't really like the lines I was getting on the money line and the spread. So I'm just going to take over 55.5. Those are my plays for college football. I think all three of those will be winners. So I'm excited about this week, and I'll probably have 20 more bets.
You've kind of talked me into Middle Tennessee, and normally you don't talk me into things, Sean. But you kind of have talked me into it, and I was, before you talked about it, I was like, I lean Roadrunners just because that's such a big win for Middle Tennessee that a big letdown would be so due right after beating Miami like that. I was thinking about the over in that game in general. I think it's a 63. If I were to bet that game right now, I'd probably take the over. I think there's going to be a lot of points in that.
63 is a lot.
It is a lot, but I also, Texas and Texas Tech, they hit the over this past weekend, and that was 63 points. You ride it out.
Yes, they did. UTSA against Houston. That was the team that played Houston. UTSA against Houston, a 37-35 3 overtime loss. Then they beat Army in an overtime loss. Then they lost to Texas 41-20, and then they beat Texas Southern, who's an FCS school, 52-24. Nothing really jumps out there, and I don't think they're ready for my Raiders. And that blackout game and the Kevin Byard
the graphic number with the jersey, I won't lie, that jersey does look sick. It does, and you're getting a home dog. It is juicy. I think I might ride with you on this.
And then the other game I wanted to talk about was Ole Miss and now I'm blanking on the team. Ole Miss and Kentucky, 7-14 at 11 a.m. I was all against Kentucky this entire year. They're 4-0 in a top 10 team. And they're plus 220 on the money line.
Probably because they're coming off just barely beating up on Northern Illinois.
Well, why is the AP ranking them higher than why is it a top 10 team? That's what I saw. I saw that Kentucky was top 10, and I saw they were going up against 14. I was like, oh, Ole Miss probably has to have a decent line, minus 220 to win. I'm like, what the fuck are these lines?
Last week, Arkansas was an underdog, and they're ranked number 10, and Texas A&M was ranked 23.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Texas A&M won. So
yeah. The polls
Vegas knows something, man.
Don't mean anything.
The polls mean nothing.
Yeah, and Vegas knows more. Jack Gar's saying he likes Iowa plus 11. Is there any other games that stick out to you? You don't have to go too in depth, but Michigan at Iowa is probably the one that really jumps out to Midwesterners. Michigan minus 11, over-unders at 42. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of offense.
Yeah, I like the under at this point. I can't Michigan. I can't believe they did not cover against Maryland. That game. I was so pissed off at Michigan. They owe us a cover. I might take Michigan just because they owe me. But I like the under in that game. I do like Oregon State plus 10 at Utah.
Why are you betting on Oregon State again?
They covered against USC, baby. They should have won. They should have beat USC at home. Now they're on the road at Utah. I know Utah is a pretty good team, but Oregon State, man, you give me 10 points against Utah, and they just almost beat USC, who looks like a wagon
They do.
At this point in the season. Right now, I love Oregon State plus 10 right now. You know what I mean? I also kind of like Florida, Wake Forest plus 7 again. I mean, they played well against Clemson. Then Florida State's looked good. I won't lie there, but they're not at home this time, but they went to overtime with Clemson. I think they're getting too many points here. I like Wake Forest.
And then we got to wrap this up, and I just want to answer Jack R. He likes Iowa plus 11. I think I would go Michigan side, but that one's just an ugly game that I would just avoid. Probably take the under, like you said. Washington against UCLA. He's taking Washington minus 2.5. He's got Michael Penix on a Heisman bet, so that's probably why he's taking Washington. But also, I do like Washington this year.
The over in that game. I think there'll be some points.
Yes. And Joe C coming in. Any thoughts on 4-0 Kansas not being ranked? My thoughts: Kansas money line. They lost 59-7 against Iowa State last year. I like them on the money line at plus 125. They're proving a point, and I think that their offense is going to be unstoppable. Yeah. I don't really feel Iowa State plays inspired football.
They opened my eyes on Saturday against who'd they play? I can't even remember who they played. They played at home. It wasn't
Duke. That was the
it was Duke.
It was Duke.
Yeah, they beat Duke at home, and they beat Duke pretty handily too. It wasn't even really that close.
How do you win 55-42 in overtime? They got to pick 6.
I don't know. You talking about Wake Forest and Clemson?
No, Kansas beat West Virginia in week 2, 56-40.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I did take the under in that game, and it barely hit by like a point.
There you go.
But yeah, no, my thoughts on Kansas not being ranked, I don't really have any. I don't think the committee looks high on the Big 12.
They'll be ranked after they beat Iowa State, I think. And they're 5-0.
Yeah.
Indiana plus 5.5 too. I like that as well because
Nebraska does suck. That'll be the one game Indiana actually deserves to win this year, Jack.
There you go. That's Cody Del Mendo, Indiana hater. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. INI. You can follow Bet's account at CHGO_Bets. And you can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Thank you guys for hanging out. And hopefully Cody's going to come back with over $400 in his bank and be a millionaire. And I think I'm probably going to get up to triple digits this weekend. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling like I'm settling in here. I'm going to turn this, the White Sox will lose tonight, so then I'll probably have around like $24.
You can get the Twins as a dog tonight. You taking them?
I already did. I took them last night. Oh, it was the first thing I did. I won money on the Twins, and then I put more money on the Twins. It's just called, it's the water cycle. It evaporates.
It's the pain bet or the pain parlay if you want to parlay. Right?
Exactly. It's easy to suffer this pain now. It's just being a White Sox fan. Anyway, that's Cody. I'm Sean. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Joey for producing it, and thank you to Joe and Jack for hanging out with us. We'll talk to you tomorrow on CHGO After Dark for Bears. So I'll be on that talking Dolphins Bengals with all those Bears people. So we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.